find a solution to the Medusa. Spirit yesterday dissected it perfectly, as we're actually just starting off with some action right away. The Shadow Realm's going to protect Roof for the moment, but a full surround here, and First Blood will go to Sumail. Oh, that's the Sumail experience, man. Give this guy First Blood and run away with it. This is exactly what you want for Nigma Galaxy.
These kind of First Bloods can change a lot. You know, especially the panel was just saying, you know, I see strengths to both teams. Like, what's going to happen? Sumail's got First Blood. All the discussions might now change when Sumail's going to have a better start. Storm, thanks to Electric Slide, this matchup is much easier for him than it used to be. We'll see what... looks like he just finished the Wraith Band, so he's going to take less ranged harass from the Storm. Sumail, scary player to give that First Blood over to.
Yeah, we've seen him have a great tournament so far on several different heroes. And, you know, this is going to be a pretty, like you said, pretty even matchup for the most part. The First Blood, we'll see how much it ends up changing. But talking about the drafts overall, I think they actually made a lot of good points. We were talking... to ourselves, just like, you know, while we're listening to the panel, we also kind of thought this was going to be a Troll Warlord game before it came into the pick. It's like, are they going to flex the Medusa to run on? Do they want to grab themselves the Troll? And that's one of the benefits of this Medusa opener, right? We've seen teams move it to one role or the other, and this option is going to be that carry Troll, a hero that we don't really see that often, right? But has its games.
Yeah, it has the right matchups as long as you're farming enough. I think that's the question mark to me, that we're going to see how this game develops. When you go all in on physical damage, like Nigma has, it typically either goes really well because everyone synergizes. You got the negative armor, which benefits everyone. You know, it's like, I'm building Deso, you guys are going to benefit from that. I get AC, you all benefit, right? So it all works together, or it's all countered by the exact same thing, like, oh, I got armor and I'm safe versus everyone. I got a Ghost Scepter and I'm safe from everyone. So it really depends how well you do in the lane, and if you are finishing your physical damage items before they get their armor and Ghost Scepters and stuff like that, or if it's the other way. So if it stays relatively even, yeah, I like this Troll idea that it can take all these heroes in a one-on-one. But will he have that time? Because this hero does need a couple items.
Yeah, he's you know, definitely kind of that niche pick. So far, though, the lane's pretty even. Troll struggling at the moment, but mid lane, Sumail doing quite well. Should get his Jingu. He needs it really bad here.
Slow.
Yeah, he'll get it, but Laurel turns around, puts in quite a bit of damage and no mischief, so ends up costing him dearly. He'll regen off of the Boundless Strike. Well, the big thing is whether or not he gets the fort on the wave to prevent the heal, right? That's always one of those things you got to be aware of.
Yeah, Boundless Strike coming up. I wonder if he saves it. Nah, looks like he just wants to get a couple last hits while he can.
Unorthodox, but effective.
I gotta say, Jingu lasts way too long. Like, this is still going. They gotta nerf that.
I think we talked about that before, right? How it just seems to last forever.
I swear it's like 40 seconds or something. I don't think it's that much, but it's way too long.
So how do you feel about the Bristleback pick? Because we were, you know, kind of wondering how Nigma was going to round out the draft. Bristleback, we've seen a lot more with the Nasal Goo facet. Like, this is... It seems to be so much more utility that you bring your team, and in drafts like this specifically, tends to be really impactful.
The Bristle... Quill Spray can't miss, so that part's kind of nice, versus the Troll, who often wins these early trades thanks to the mischance applied by Whirling Axes. But when you're Quill Spraying, that doesn't matter. But can you Quill Spray when there's a Silencer? And you do need to combo with the right clicks from Tusk on the tag team when you get that, and you might miss on some of those hits. So I'm really not sure. I think it depends. If you hit the Arcane Curse at the start of the fight, I think Spirit will be okay down there. If maybe Miposhka's doing a pull and you connect on that gank at that time, you keep them separate, that's where this lane could pick up some kills.
All right. Well, so far, we're going to see some creep manipulation here from Omar. He's just going to drag these away.
What?
Okay, that was weird.
I thought they didn't do that.
Yeah, that's super bizarre.
I mean, the creeps didn't aggro to them, which you can't, but I thought the neutrals usually ignore.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't looked in a while.
Ghost taking a little bit of harassment topside. This is the first time I think we've seen an IO Marcy, at least on this stream. I don't think we've seen an IO Marcy quite yet. It's a hero that, it's a combo rather, that we've seen have a little bit of success in recent patches, but Ghost, I feel like Nigma in general. This team has been very versatile with their drafts and their picks for a lot of their cores. Really good Bramble, though, on the top side, set up there from Rue, completely blocking off any exit path. And Collapse falls up. They grab themselves a first kill on that top side. Now mid lane, Laurel getting chased down here from Sumail. Just needs one more auto attack. Miposhka with a blood grenade will be able to bail him out. A very good save from the silencer. A second kill for Sumail there would have been a really rough spot.
Yeah, good response from Miposhka. Without those extra slows, Monkey King will run down the Storm Spirit and get that kill. So quick reactions. Top, also fast reactions. We missed the very start of it, but the second the tether broke, they immediately jumped on the Marcy. They knew tether was on cooldown. It's not going to get any extra help from the IO, so...
Laurel is back, and Sumail's starting to fall pretty low. Maybe a little bit afraid to commit for the Monkey King, but they'll definitely put some damage here into Omar. And, yeah. Good TP back in. Silencer held the lane for a while. Well punished back from Spirit.
Everyone's getting real low this game so far.
I feel like Monkey King doing really well on the CS, and that's kind of the thing with that first blood, right? It actually gives him such a better start. Omar gonna snowball dodge the curse here. Is just gonna go to the creep wave, so not a super deep snowball, and Rue actually TPing in. Kind of baited there. Nicely done from Omar on the Tusk.
I probably started that as soon as he saw the snowball, thinking you can drag him in, and then you're like, oh, it's to the creep. Okay, never mind. Well, you also had to come for the 6-minute rune anyway, so you don't mind being here right now. This is a great rune to secure for Storm Spirit. He's not 6 quite yet, since there were some denies. He got zoned out a little bit.
Oh, great shard block coming in on the IO as well. Sumail helps bring down that Storm Spirit and another snowball to dodge out the curse. Unfortunately for Sumail, the rune will spawn top. Rue takes that haste away. Just gonna probably head back towards his lane. Start offering a little bit more help against this Marcy. Collapse having a great time, though. Being left in this 1v1, this is where Medusa kind of thrives, and that Gorgon's Grasp is gonna hit. Does he have a snake? For now, no. Still on cooldown for a few seconds. And GH mid here. Gonna get ran down by the Marcy. Gets the tether away. Sumail might turn. Does have the Shadow Realm. Bramble spring up to the high ground. That's slow. Should be enough for Sumail to try and finish the kill here on Rue. Gets the Jingu. Gets that Boundless Strike. And another kill into the hands of the Monkey King. He's having a great start.
We were talking about this, where Sumail, when he first came onto the scene, he didn't have the craziest hero pool, but it felt like he could do whatever. You know, he's like, oh yeah, just pick me that, I'll win. You know, pick me that, I'll win. The hero pool is different, but Jenkins highlighted it in the panel. You know, like, yeah, Darkseer, yeah, I'll play Darkseer, I'll win mid, that's no problem. Oh, Beastmaster, that's fine. OD, sure, whatever. You know, in the qualifiers to get here, or to the Dream League 26 actually right before this, it's like, yeah, Tinker mid. Not a lot of people doing it. Yeah, I'll do it. Why not? It's really fun. It's fun to see Sumail just so confident. I'm gonna say again, even though I know he's been confident the whole time, but we're getting to see it where he's just popping off on whatever he wants, and I don't know. There's just something so fun about that when it's the same like when he first popped onto the scene.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's always fun. It's good to see players like find you know, success in their strategies, and Nigma seemed to be kind of doing that right now. As we're going to see GH actually head towards the bottom side, maybe look for this Troll Warlord. Radon is about to hit level 6. We'll see what he ends up doing in his build. It looks like Battle Fury. So, I mean, with Troll Warlord, you're either going Maelstrom or Battle Fury, depending on the game. I do like the Battle Fury here. Getting the Cornucopia is really important. He still hasn't leveled his ult, but here comes that rotation, and Radon, he'll just give it up.
No time for the ultimate at all there. Even if you use it, you're not getting a kill. You can just snowball. So continues to save the skill point. I have a mechanics question for you real quick.
Ooh, I love those.
You don't lifesteal on the mana shield, right? Because you're not actually damaging her?
Yeah, it's actually a weird one.
So I think
you don't lifesteal on those at all.
Yeah, I think that's part of the reason that Medusa ended up doing well, because IO Marcy usually regen so much. You bodyguard each other, and then you're both lifestealing. But not versus Medusa, who is just going to walk away. She's got the help of the supports here, although maybe Sumail's coming in.
Sumail? I don't think they know he's here. But a really good disengage from Spirit. I mean, this is a big rotation in from Nigma. They've got the shield rune here on the Monkey King. They need to find something. It's going to be a Boundless Strike onto Miposhka. Quickly deleted off the tail end of that unleash. And in the meantime, Noob finishes off the bottom tower, so great map movements here from Nigma as they're really pushing the advantage.
Yeah, they had a nice ward a little bit to the left in the top lane. Not a... it's kind of used, but you don't always expect it that far. Sometimes you check a little closer to the lane, so they use it, get that silencer kill, straight back to mid. Monkey King, top net worth. What is he going for? I imagine Diffusal?
It's got to be Diffusal, right?
Yeah.
I feel like most mid Monkey Kings we see nowadays, it's first item Diffusal because it just synergizes so well. It's really good at punishing supports, especially the likes of Silencer, who can't really afford defensive items. Or like he's gonna need a Ghost Scepter. I think it's pretty obvious we're gonna see some Ghost Scepters coming out this game for Spirit. Like we've highlighted so much physical damage, but Sumail can probably beat those timings at this point as Will Silencer just has brown boots. He's gonna get found here once more. Omar as well as the Bristleback make quick work of him. Brain Drain maybe in the opposite way this time.
I think it should work that way. Don't you?
You just give intellect when you die?
He doesn't have to go negative, but like if he stole intelligence from you and you kill Silencer, you get it back.
You're like, all right, thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Not all of it,
It's
but you get like
loan.
1 charge back or whatever. If he has the shard, you know, you can gain more, but you can lose more.
I see, I see. Okay.
All right, Collapse, getting close to his Meteor Hammer. That's when this offlane, there we go, just finished. That's when this offlane Medusa gets good. It feels like you have to run into her, and if you don't, she's going to take your towers. But this is the cool thing about Nigma's draft, especially with the first blood, the kills they found. They're pretty fast. They don't mind showing up to this Medusa, especially when you have an IO who could, you know, maybe be farming bot, and then you still relocate top. I mean, in this case, he's just here, ready to go, baiting Ghost.
Bait. Yep, they're going to bring in the Tusk as well as the IO. They will just decide not to commit. Meteor Hammer still connects onto the tower as well as the Marcy, so they should be able to finish this one up. They'll try for a deny, but not going to happen. This is where I was a little worried about the Nigma draft because we've seen the Medusa do this. She's now top net worth after finishing the tower. You have to address this hero. You cannot leave her to just destroy your map. So we'll see whether or not this Marcy kind of IO pays off, how much the Monkey King is going to be able to contribute. Because if you can trap her inside the Wukongs once the Diffusal's out, there's a good chance you kill her.
Yeah, that's actually how we saw Spirit deal with it yesterday versus Paravision in their second game. They got the ET, and then twice when Medusa was trying to push with the Meteor, they slept her, rotated everyone in, killed her twice, and then she no longer felt comfortable pushing like that. I actually thought Nigma was going to give up that top tower, wait for this Diffusal, continue farming on the map with IO, and once you have the Diffusal, you can then threaten the Medusa. I think it's just about finished on Sumail. He's just, oh, it's a little further, 400 about away. I think once you have that, you can start threatening Collapse.
Yeah, that's a big rune for Laurel. He's going to grab himself a regen. We'll see what he can find with this. The IO Marcy, one of the things that we also talked about before the game is when you respond to a Medusa, you still have to be able to do stuff on the map. You can't just sit trying to take her down in the lane. So you have this IO that can reload in your core. You'll still be farming. You're not going to be missing too much. So an interesting idea as well. We'll kind of see how this pays off as topside Rue does get the Shadow Realm off. Nicely done. We'll see if he's able to escape here. Bramble will be enough. They don't want to dive the tower. So good reactions there from Rue.
You know, interestingly, I think some of the strength of Medusa, you just send her forward and you don't want to deal with it. Bristle's actually one of the OG heroes for that, right?
True.
Like, oh, this guy, you know, send a support. You're being run down by Quills. Noob's doing the same thing down there. And, you know, we said Medusa's at top. I don't know if he's found some stacks. They had some. But, yeah, I mean, he's at the top now. No one wants to go deal with him. So, I don't know. That's why this draft is so interesting. And I think us and the panel are like, I don't know how it's going to go.
Big boundless strike, but there's the global from Aposhka. Just shuts down Sumail. They will finally get a very nice kill onto him, but they're going to dive the back line. In comes Ghost. In comes Noob. Now Stone Gaze will buy the Medusa some space. Omar with the Walrus punch, the stun. They just delete the Storm Spirit. And Noob is still chasing, looking for Aposhka. You just talked about it. Ran down by the Bristol. It's going to happen eventually. Trying to make his way here through the river, but with all that minus armor, -6 just stacks up so fast. So Nigma, they will punish the dive into the mid lane. You don't get the Medusa, but you save. You get some big kills. That's like the best thing you can ask for.
Yeah, I think, you know, Sumail a little sad he died, but he's back with the Diffusal, and he actually has everything. So if you want to keep going, I sort of think you do. Like, this is when you're strong. You got the armlet on Marcy. We just saw how good her ultimate is when she has it. You got to wait a moment because it's on cooldown. But once you have that, I think you can start hunting around the map again while, you know, Marcy IO push somewhere because you got the relocate. Monkey hopping around trees, finding the target, pop the Wukongs, defuse a slow, the relocate comes in. I think we're going to start seeing that a lot.
I mean, you're exactly correct. They just come straight to the top side, snowball, and the rebound. Oh, wait, he snowballs up to the high ground. I don't think he's really getting out of this one thanks to the defusal slow, but does kind of slow down the kill a little bit. And Noob on the bottom side. I mean, you just don't have the damage for this Bristle with these two heroes, especially a Snot Rocket Bristle, right? You can't really slow down the Medusa, but...
That's true, actually. Yeah, I guess the negative armor doesn't bother her, and neither does the slow, so that's kind of cool. But does she bother the Bristleback? Clearly not.
Yeah. He doesn't care. So, playing quick here on Nigma Galaxy, looking very strong at the moment. Oh, yeah, get out of here, Sumail. It's actually a lot of damage.
I'm telling you, Roche, I want to see his move speed bumped up. I want to see that happen more in games.
They found Collapse. They will be able to trap him here with the shards, but in comes Laura on the backside, gets the Vortex, Global Silence out. Goodbye. Monkey King Collapse almost out of mana, but no real way to follow. Now, in comes the Marcy, pops the Unleash, and Collapse. Not going to survive this one. Miposhka will TP out against the Bristle. A 1-for-1 trade. Can you do Tormentor? I believe so. I mean, you've got the minus armor from Noob. Ghost has that armlet. Yeah, thank you.
Unironically, that mattered.
He died here because of this, 100%.
He did burn all the mana from Medusa before he died. Job kind of, you know, completed because of that. But Laurel immediately zipping to him, getting the kill. That's a galvanized stack for Laurel. So, you know, okay, except for the fact that you then lose Tormentor, and that's the big loss here. That's so much money. Like, I think 2,275.
Yeah, and Shard went to GH. I mean, it's an okay one. I think you probably would have preferred Tusk Shard here, but you'll know any Shard is good.
You know, maybe some extra healing could matter in these fights if you line them up. Especially Marcy's a hero who jumps in, so
yeah,
maybe get a couple heroes in that. It's not one we see too much, so maybe it's stronger than I realized. Yeah, Io really has not been popular lately.
I always love seeing teams or players like believe in their like strong heroes, right? Like we've known GH has been an IO player forever, so it's one of those things.
Nigma as a team.
Yeah, they really are. There's
team.
certain IO teams out there for sure, and so it's cool that even though other teams don't really believe in it, Nigma clearly do, and it is working. So I'm really happy to see that.
And that could be some of the changes to the pub data. You know,
this is a really good smoke. Wukong's command comes out. It gets canceled in from Laurel. Walrus punches out. There it is, but a nice terrorize on the money. Can they keep them alive? Absolutely. Only one casualty, but they're looking for Miposhka. Another TP out. This Bristleback needs a Yules or something. I don't know.
You keep Sumail alive this time, though. That was a lot of healing coming from the IO, and they're actually going to run to Roche, which you had so much negative armor from Bristle. Yeah, you absolutely can do this. This is a lot earlier than we typically see. They want to contest.
Oh, they are absolutely trying to contest. Troll, I mean, I kind of forgot he was in this game. He's got Battle Fury Yasha. He's level 12. Radon definitely leveling up here. You don't really want to... At the end of the day, Troll is very good in this game. As we continue to see scaling, I mean, you don't really want to be attacking Noob if he's got his back towards you, but you get a one-on-one with Monkey King or Marcy, right? These are full commitment type heroes. Troll's going to come out ahead almost every time.
Yeah, you do need a couple items to get ahead, though, which is why he's been off farming quietly.
Yeah.
And I don't think he really
Nice Walrus Punch. Oh my goodness. Was that the Blink reveal? It had to be, right? We'll see as they continue to look for more. A nice Bedlam will be able to try and buy him some space, but yeah, Rue's gonna die and Collapse. Has to just TP out. Can't choose to stick around. Now the minus armor is gonna stack up for Roche, and this will be a the objective they wanted all along.
I think they went a little too far. I think you come contest because you don't want to give them Roche for free, and if Roche is helping you, you can take the fight, but they pushed Nigma off of Roche, and then they chased into it. But I think you're right. That was the Blink reveal from Tusk.
They had no idea.
Yeah, without that, Storm can move a little farther forward. But with it, they were able to chain stun, get the kill, and then secure themselves. Roche onto
really
the Mars.
hurt Storm.
That's so funny, actually. All these heroes want the Aegis.
Yeah. That's a really rough death for the Storm because he does need to be able to reliably go into the backside of the fights and find the IO with a BKB eventually. But for now, he's got his Ghost Scepter, and we knew we were going to see these, right? Ghost Scepter already on Laurel. Medusa's got one queued up. I know the Silencer had one queued up. It is probably the best defensive item you can get at some point. There's one queued up on Marcy is Dark Willow. So we're going to see several of these this game. Super valuable item against the lineup. Whether or not it's going to matter, they find Storm again. There's your Ghost Scepter. All right, clearly it matters. Wukong's command going to come through, try and find an opening here on the backside. It's going to be Radon, though, and here comes the Battle Trance. Terrorize connects. They're just stuck here. Can Radon actually finish the kill? Marcy actually just too strong thanks to GH.
I mean, Troll will win the one-on-one. The one-on-threes in Wukong's is a little much, especially for where he is net worth-wise compared to them.
All right, Ghost forced to pop BKB here, but seems to want to continue the chase now. He's going to back away.
Has a lot of heals available. Maybe baiting Ghost's low health a little bit.
I mean, that was Ghost Scepter Storm. He literally survives twice where he would have died previously, so it's already paid off for Laurel. And we'll see if Marcy queues up a Nullifier anytime soon. That's just a natural item progression. She literally just queued up Nullifier, so natural item progression for the Marcy. And once you have that, you better hope you have another way of surviving that burst.
Yeah, I was wondering, Ags is also pretty good, but I think Nullifier, because you can see they're going to build these Ghost Scepters and everything, so she's going to get it for her team. Ags later could be really nice, though. It's got a really big range, and if you silence up some of these heroes, like Dark Willow, right, just can't do anything.
He Tumbler toyed onto the high ground. Incredible. Blink Walrus Punch here onto the Medusa. Global silence onto the backside. The vision here allowing him to get to the Isle. Laurel, he'll take him down. The Ghost Scepter out just in time to survive. Well done here from the Storm Spears. Radon now coming in as well. He does have that Battle Trance available. Beautiful Meteor Hammer. Radon's just going to start beating him down. Ghost goes toe-to-toe, but he will not win. A huge fight here from Team Spirit as they're just going to try and bring down this Bristle. Ghost on his second life. Can he do this? He's got the Unleash going. In comes the Stone Gaze. Laurel still surviving on the back of this Ghost Scepter, and they've done it. They bring down the Marcy twice. Maposhka TPs to safety. What a fight from Spirit.
Yeah, the Marcy with Aegis, she comes back, but if you don't have your ult, you're just not as strong, though. The relocate's coming in.
Yeah, well, you may not be slowed, but you get, you know, trapped in the shards. Great Terrorize into the Bedlam. They're going to turn around with a Meteor Hammer. Great snowball to save, but can you actually get out? There is a Storm Spirit ready to go. Omar will bail out the IO, but dies for it in the exchange.
That was a long fight. I mean, Troll did so much there. I know he died eventually, but that's funny. He didn't even do well. Okay, these guys kind of came back in. To be fair, okay, that fight kept going. But I feel like in his life, while they tried to focus him down, he set it up right where you wear down the BKBs, you do enough damage, the team is able to clean up after that. That's what I'm gonna stand by that. But yeah, it actually also goes to show, you know, if you do focus Troll too much, this Storm's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I mean, Maposhka is definitely MVP of that fight. The fact that he just Tumbler toys onto the high ground, they just assume there's no way this hero, I mean, he's dying right now, but there's no way that they would have just guessed there's a silencer sitting on the pillar behind him.
Can he be Ward of the game?
Yeah. Okay, someone send that to BSJ later. Give him that one. That is absolutely Ward of the game. It doesn't even matter. Win or lose, that was the play.
Yeah, some of that fight also worked out because they don't have the Nullifier yet, so Ghost Scepters are still doing a lot. They don't have a ton of Dispels quite yet on Nigma, so the silences are...
They're looking for the Ward of the game, like, where did it go? Oh my goodness, incredible.
All right, they did get the Halberd onto Noob. So until a BKB is done on Bristle, or sorry, the Troll, that's going to be annoying for him in fights.
Nice, Wukong's bottom lane into the stun. The follow-up here from Ghost. Can they mana burn him? No, he gets the ult off. Radon will get some support, but the BKB out from Marcy. It might be too little too late. Can Laurel salvage that? The global silence into a great terrorized Sumail's BKB protecting him from now. A nice dodge again into the Meteor Hammer. Omar trying to burn down, but gets the snowball. Gonna end up real deep here now.
Noob's joining in.
Yeah, here does come the Bristol. Gets the hairball out. Laurel's out of mana. Can they actually bring down this storm? He gets the zip up and gets the kill onto Sumail just at the very end. Noob should be able to finish the job, but a nice fight once again here from Spirit. Can Collapse survive? Oh no, he cannot. Maposhka's back, Ghost has his eyes set on him. Into the Meteor Hammer, it will connect.
Dude, I feel like
low. This curse is lasting forever. Armlet toggle for the moment, still has the nullifier, but they can't slow down this Medusa. He's starting to run out of mana. It's finally adding up here, and well, it's not enough. This has been such, yeah, these fights just seem to last forever.
I think that might have been a Searing Signet kill there.
Did he armlet toggle?
Yeah, I think he armlet toggled off and didn't realize Searing Signet was on the Medusa. So he died, because I think he should have had enough health. If It might have been close, though, to be fair. But GH was, like, just getting in there. So
reload, yeah.
Yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
Wow. Really good stuff from Laurel. I mean, he was really struggling at the beginning of this game, and he has completely bounced back in terms of
Tumblr's Toy!
Yeah, dude, Tumblr's Toy owns. He's completely bounced back. Look, I mean, his net worth, he's, like, neck and neck with all these other cores. He's been having a ton of impact in these fights. Okay, yeah, we'll see.
So he lives. Yeah, that's the Searing Signet. Unfortunate.
Yeah, GH just barely not making it in time. Thank you, production. You guys own.
Some of that fight started. Some of that fight started before Bristle was there. That negative armor matters a lot when, you know, to go back to it, it's all physical damage lineup. And it adds up really quickly, so it's a little unfortunate he wasn't there. I don't think they expected such a big fight. You know, they thought it was just a quick pickoff, but so far both teams have been very quick to respond, and we've been getting a lot of 5-on-5. We're only 26 minutes into the game. You know, usually you don't even see a 5-on-5 at this point.
35 kills. Yeah, that's pretty good. They get second Tormentor here once again for Nigma Galaxy. This one goes to Ghost, so actually quite a bit more damage on the rebound.
She gets a little speed boost.
Yeah, and
not
speed
bad.
boost. It's a pretty nice shard, especially for the carry. And you know, magic damage when they're Ghost Sceptered, right? It all adds up.
Yeah, and you know, something you were saying, like the Arcane Curse is lasting so long. I forgot Marcy has special delivery, so I think that's potentially affecting her. God, yeah. Am I crazy? Does this one, or does that change?
Bottom tower is under attack.
I feel like she used it in that fight to get something.
Yeah, she might have. Bottom tower, Nigma Galaxy will grab the tier 2, further pushing their advantage here. Now the next objective is Roche. It's up, top side of the map. They could just make their way back across, sweep through mid, look for a gank, and they actually have a ward actually in a really good spot here, potentially scouting Maposhka. They will see him now. We'll see if they want to actually make a play for him.
Find a cliff, Tumblr's Toy. Oh no, he switched to ninja gear.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, it looks like they do want to find the silencer. They know he's here somewhere.
The global's been annoying for them.
Absolutely.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Was there anything on that? Nothing on the courier. Okay. But nice cut on the top wave. Actually quite smart, as Spirit was starting to put a little bit of pressure on the tier 2. They could fort this, right? It's your first tier 2 tower if they really wanted, but...
Dude, GH is such a baller. He's queuing up hard.
I like it.
I love it.
Yeah. 28 minutes. Double Wisdom Shrine actually for Spirit. Rue has made the long rotation over here. Has the ward, obviously scouting it out. He will have a 4 staff completed now.
Now, we see this a lot more in the past, coming to sit by the shrine. If you couldn't do Ancients, yeah, it felt kind of bad. Nowadays, we see a lot of people go sneak there, do a little bit of farming. If you can get the shrine, great. And if no one comes, you just keep farming. Though, it looks like Nigma might have an idea to happen, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Do the second Roche.
I think they were hoping for a pickoff, like someone to come defend mid and maybe like force a fight. They don't. They get the tier 2 for free, and now they're just going to take Roche on, right? So another Aegis, this one into the hands of the Monkey King. And they are looking for Laurel. Walrus Punch just barely not on mark. Laurel will get the long zip TP home. So very good reactions there from the Storm Spirit. Now they are pinging here on the high ground. They know someone's got to be here. So Omar, he's going to try and start some sort of a fight. Gets silenced though and dies immediately. The rest of Nigma Galaxy kind of want to punish this. We'll see if they get the opportunity.
I think you're trying to bait this
Ooh,
snowball.
to bound the strike. Radon gets out Rue. Not going to be as lucky. Ghost Scepters for the moment. Has a Shadow Realm as well in a second. Looking for the Terrorize. It connects, but Sumail, nice dodge. Someone else has to cancel it, and they can't. Okay, Rue, wasting so much of their time. You're beautifully done.
Yeah, that was really nicely done from Rue. I think Omar was coming in trying to bait out some stuff before snowballing to buy time, and he didn't think they would global him. But it gets you the kill, and actually the others get out, so that's maybe okay. You don't really want to fight into Aegis anyways, so I don't think you have to save it for a big team fight.
They force all this space to the bottom, and they're just top farming on Spirit, right? Collapse has just been deep into the jungle on the Medusa. He is going an interesting item, something we don't see that often, but it's the Conda, the spell break item, right? Something that was changed, and a lot of people like have kind of been avoiding this item, not really sure if it's good or bad, but for a Medusa, especially in this game, seems pretty viable. Low cooldown break against Bristleback and Monkey King. Pretty good.
We usually see the Hex here after you finish Meteor, Gleipnir, and this time he got a Ghost Scepter because of all that physical. He actually got an Octarine this time, and I kind of get it. Her spells are pretty good when you have this many melee heroes and you have an IO who needs to stay close. So a lot of Snake bounces, a lot of Gorgon grasp.
This Heart on Noob, he is just tank. Like, he just sits here absorbing so much damage. He's going to jump in to actually get a Gleipnir onto the IO, but it's not going to be enough to find the kill. Bound the strike to stop that Meteor Hammer. There's the Wukong's Tusk just dove onto the back line. Gets destroyed by Radon. There's going to be the Stone Gaze from Collapse to try and buy a little bit of space. They want to maybe try and take this fight on Nigma. Noob, again, just tanking the front line. But you got to be careful. Radon, he's looking for an opening, trying to scout GH with this Shadow Blade. That's going to allow Laurel. He gets the green light. They take him down. No supports left for Nigma as Radon's just going to get to work on this Bristleback. Disarm for now. Can you actually kill this guy is the question. Big bounce strike. Sumail's up on the high ground. He gets feared as well. They will finally get to work taking down this Bristol as Radon under this BKB finally pops the ult. Tries to rebound away, but Sumail's first life, well, role-playing previous NA carry, I would say, you know?
Played a long time together.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a tribute, but
caught by the Bramble.
Catches him right at the end of the BKB. GH, his buyback, will be able to get Ghost to safety, but that is another exceptional fight from Spirit, and an unfortunate boundless strike, right?
Yeah, that is really unlucky because you would have done a lot of damage there, and you got a long attack range on Monkey King, but not enough to fight from that cliff. Perfect Shadow Blade usage. Some luck there that you know, they didn't have a sentry down, but I think they felt confident because they actually have a sentry in the jungle, so they're hedging their bets. Like, I think they don't have a sentry to see me just walk in like this, find the IO. And you've got to start with the IO. You see how tanky that Bristle is. You're wasting your time focusing that Bristle.
Yeah, the fact that Radon can just give that vision and Laurel has no hesitation at all. He's like, oh, there he is. All right, let's just zip in, kill this guy. And then the fight is so much more in Spirit's favor. They've turned this gold lead so quickly. Now 3,000 in favor of Team Spirit. Troll and Storm at the top of the net worth charts here. And typically, a lot of times we see Silencer really struggling. He's okay. Like, he's not having a terrible game. Like, he's got some deaths, but Solar Crest, Force Staff, like 12 stolen in. He's okay.
It's been a really back and forth game, so he's managing to stay involved, get some of that brain drain. GH, as is classic, you know, you're feeling good. You kill a big item, you get killed once or twice.
They've got the ward into the Walrus Punch, the Snowball. Can Ghost finish him off here with a Nullifier? He can't. Laurel gets the zip away. Sumail's not close enough with that Boundless Strike to follow it up, and well, that's a costly miss on that gank. You need those kills.
Yeah, I think they were a little bit overestimating the Unleash damage, hoping to burst him in what chain stun they had, but I think you need one more from the Monkey King there.
Yeah, and they will smoke up immediately themselves. They know the Unleash on cooldown. Did I see a Parasma on Storm? Was that what that was?
Yeah.
That's nice. Okay, big item. With
Parasma
the Shivas
and
too.
Shiva, so a lot of magic damage. Especially, I mean, Collapse got that Octarine, so he's spamming spells. He's got that Phylactery. It's going to add up, and these are pretty long fights that have been happening.
Radon, no hesitation, running onto the high ground. Boundless Strike connects, but Sumail with the Wukongs being committed. You just wait that out now. They know the ward sentry's there. Miposhka will grab it, no problem.
GH had to relocate out. He's going to die unless his team wants to run in.
Ooh, zip in. Yeah, they found him. Yeah, they got a Bramble right on the money. There's no way he survives this. I mean, these are costly deaths here from Nigma Galaxy. And Spirit just playing super patiently for their timings and taking the fights that, you know, they feel comfortable taking.
Yeah, it feels like we've made to that point where Troll is going to win pretty much all these 1v1s. Earlier, it's a little close. Now, you also have this Medusa. She hasn't scaled the most in terms of damage from the games we've seen, but her control's good, and this is a game with 4 melee heroes. Like, I think she's gonna have a great time just casting these spells and letting Troll do all the damage, as well as the Storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, production show. She's actually doing a lot of the damage herself still.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, her spells do a lot of damage. The Octarine enables that, and as soon as this Conda is finished, which is actually not that far away, this Bristleback is not going to be tanky. Like, they will be able to burst him, even though he has the Heart of Tarrasque. If you get the break with the Troll, I mean, he just rips through you.
Yeah, because this Medusa's magic damage is being amplified by the Shivas and the Parasma as well.
Yeah. Still a very even game. I know we're talking up a lot on Spirit here, but Nigma Galaxy down but not out. Radon's gonna find Ghost on the top side here, gets the break on the Silver Edge, immediately pops the ult. Ghost can be forced to BKB. If he gets another root, he should finish the job, and very easily does.
Did he global to get 1 intelligence on that?
No, he global to prevent the reload.
relocate?
Yeah,
Okay,
it was the reload. Io was close. They didn't know, but Io was actually close to the reload. Yeah,
right. Much smarter player than me. I'm thinking the intent in steal.
I need that brain drain, baby. Let's go. Mid lane, another fight breaking out. Sumail will barely survive. This damage coming out from Laurel as well as Collapse, like you said. It's a lot of burst damage now.
That was so much damage on Sumail. And he's finishing this Revenant's Brooch, so, I mean, he's not getting tankier with that. Well, I guess a little bit, because you have that small amount of spell lifesteal when you proc the magic, but not that much.
Yeah. This is where Troll shines, right? Like, we're getting to the point now where he can kind of... Ooh. Okay, no, Sumail's fine. Has the Disperser as well. I actually like this pickup quite a bit. Like, there's so many roots that come out from the Medusa. You don't want to have to, like, BKB these. And it gets, like, Diffusal's a natural item progression, so yeah, Disperser works out really well, especially against Silencer. You have 2 Dispel options.
Yeah. Roche can start spawn, Spirit already in position. They haven't been able to get the last 2. They just weren't fully prepared. But this time, I think they'll be very confident to take the fight.
I mean, one thing that we've seen from Spirit is, like, every single one of these fights, they've really clutched out, like, the most important targets. Like, there's not been a moment where, like, even when Nigma was ahead, several of the fights Spirit took were either even or they came out ahead. So we'll see what they can do here. This ward giving a lot of vision. The root here for the moment, but you just bait with Collapse, right? You're trying to get vision of this Io. That's the big one. Another ward sentry here in the mid lane. See if they actually scout this one out. But Radon thinking, like, guys, you want to just kill this Bristleback or what?
That's those are some famous last words.
Those are everyone's famous last. Guys, we can kill the Bristleback this time.
He's facing me. Totally hit him. It'll work this time.
Oh, surely.
I mean, both of them, both offlaners are playing these very tanky heroes. You want to be focused. You want the Medusa to be tanking everything. You want the Bristle to tank everything so that everyone else is free to do the damage. Now, if the break comes in, maybe it's different, because now you got the Silver Edge and the Conda, so they have 2 sources of break.
Is the Conda done?
Yeah.
Oh. Yep, all right, there we go. Second break comes in. You're going to start doing some damage, building up those fervor stacks. Great Wallace Punch initiation by Laurel. He's found his opening, gets on top of the other global, silences out, and Marcy getting absolutely shredded. Sumail on the run, can't escape. It's a disaster here for Nigma. An absolute team wipe nearly as Noob has to Nightfall out of here. Oh my goodness. It wasn't even close.
And he's immediately rewarded with the Roshan. Yeah, Troll doing a lot of damage this time. Now that he's fully online, Storm finding the IO, that is the key target you must kill. Because that is what maybe turns the favor, that you can win the 1v1. I mean, these fights aren't really one-on-ones, but that you can maybe kill Troll with enough lifesteal and boosted healing from the IO. When he's zipped on and just immediately killed, no one else has a save for the IO, except the Snowball. But so far, they've been really good about keeping that away with the global.
I mean, we haven't really even talked about it this game because it's well, hold on. We'll let Laurel.
We might not get much time to talk about this game.
We'll let the Parasma do the damage. They just yoink a gem away, I believe, as well, which is, I mean, making, adding insult to injury.
You'll never find them a Poshka board now.
Yeah, you'll never. Okay, we're gonna keep coming back to that one. That's gonna be a great arc. Radon joins his team in mid lane after grabbing the Roshan. Feels pretty much unstoppable on the Troll here. His ultimate's up. He's level 25. You're not killing this Troll. It's just too strong. Okay, I was going to say, we haven't really talked about it yet. The Troll Facet, right? Bad Influence. For a long time, we saw his other one, the one that gave him armor per Fervor stack. But now, Bad Influence, Storm Spirit loves attack speed. So does Medusa. And they're just getting this for free. So Radon has no problem. Like, when they commit onto him, he'll just pop the ult, and his team benefits as well with the global silence, preventing any sort of response from Nigma. It's actually kind of a genius way to play the fights.
Yeah, Storm Spirit is a deceptively reliant hero on attack speed to do his damage. It's not really obvious, especially if you don't play the Storm Spirit. You're just getting zipped on and killed. You don't understand what's killing you. But he does need to attack a lot in between the spells. And you're right, getting that for free from Troll is fantastic. At least when it's active.
Yeah, it's 100 attack speed, though. Like, that is a ton of attack speed for these heroes.
I see pings. Who's doing that? Do they know he's here? All right, so he may be pinging himself.
Yeah, I think it might have been Noob, but I'm not sure. Either way, they're going to zip in here. Look for Noob. They do have those breaks at the ready, but a nice disarm there onto Radon.
Maybe go ahead and from the back.
Now. He's forced to BKB. You're right. In comes Sumail. Nice boundless strike by the Force Staff out for now. They just delete Radon, but he's going to have that second life. Global is there. Can you commit a big global and a huge vortex in from below? Dodges the meteor hammer. Oh my gosh.
They catch our eye on the back.
They can't do anything. They're just falling apart, and now they've got themselves the Marcy Noob, the last surviving hero. There's just no shot. Even the buyback from GH, they're doing their best, but Radon still had Battle Trance at the ready. GG's come out in a beautiful turnaround in game one here from Spirit in this top side. But, I mean, I'm kind of with the panel on this one. You just gave Spirit everything you could have asked for in a draft. Now, we have seen Medusa dealt with so far the best by an Elder Titan. That has been the offlane Medusa. We'll see how it works here as a carry. Is it going to be enough, Zach? I don't know, man. What do you think?
I mean, Spirit actually did the same thing yesterday. Lose game one to the Medusa, and they come up with a new idea, give him Medusa again, and then they beat it. I want to believe Nigma has an idea that maybe we don't fully see. Maybe they're really committed to an early game. Because Medusa carry, she needs a couple items before she's that scary. Yeah. Medusa off lane, Meteor, she's going. But carry Medusa takes a while. And Lifestealer, relatively faster carry.
Yeah,
nice bounty steals.
This is something Ghost had a lot of success on yesterday, actually, with this Lifestealer. He's a big fan of this hero. And yeah, there's not a ton of, counters against Spirit outside of the Mars, right? Being able to dodge the arena, doing really strong in lane. You can kind of just leave him there, and GH can kind of get active elsewhere. I see the ideas, right? I see what Nigma Galaxy is going for here. Well, the question is, can you beat out Spirit with a strategy like this? Because this is a team that we talked about before. Like, they don't care if they're behind. Like, they'll get behind if it's like just, the nature of the draft. And they will just beat you through the mid game and late game because they have a better read on what they need to be doing than most other teams. And I don't know. I have a hard time ever voting against the Storm Caudle in this current patch.
That's true.
It is, you just give Storm like 1,200 mana in a fight. Like, it is too difficult to play around at times. So we'll see how well Spirit can play this combo, and really how Nigma Galaxy, whether or not this draft comes together in addressing it.
Yeah, it often feels like Medusa, right? You just got to make space for her. For you got to play, you got to do enough. But actually, that feels pretty doable when you have this Keeper Storm combo. For me, Tinker mid. We really don't see it much now. Tinker support is just so good. Sumail did it in some qualifiers before this tournament. And it's one of those heroes, maybe it's the pub experience, it feels like you can always win. If you have a good enough Tinker game, it always seems like it's doable. So I kind of want to see what Sumail's got. They had an idea. I think they probably felt, they want Storm. Do we take the bait like the panel was talking about? Do we pick something else? He wanted the Tinker. So I'm very interested to see what he had envisioned for this game.
It's not a, it's not a surprise that Tinker is so highly contested in this tournament. Not only is it, probably one of the best supports of the patch, but we'll see here today why it's such a good carry or a mid laner as well. Bottom lane, Radon taking a ton of damage here from Noob, and Omar does get, he just has to pop all the mangoes to survive. So 3 mangoes down now as Noob actually, he might turn around, get the courier. No, great stomp though to follow it up, and that is it. First blood for the Centaur. They get the courier as well. Omar takes a lot of damage from the tower, but you're pretty okay with this one.
Yeah, I think that's actually a cool idea to deal with the mana shield, which you either need mana burn or you just need raw damage.
Yeah.
And Centaur Double Edge is actually one of the highest damage spells in the early game, especially if you choose to level it up. Now, will he, or if he's just, took the 1 point, got the kill, I'm happy with that. Gonna change the build from there.
Go back to retaliate and farm.
Just farm. We'll see. Yeah. But if he does commit to it, you're gonna have the regen from the Vanguard build. It's a cool way. You just keep spamming it on the Medusa.
Yeah. For most of you who maybe are wondering, what makes Tinker so exceptional in this patch, it's a few things. The majority of it is the change to the map, being a lot of different camps that you can just use these March of the Machines on with, while saving a lot of mana. We've talked to other talent, we've talked to coaches and team managers. They all say the same thing. It's just too easy to enable the farm on this hero. And it's too difficult to shut it down because there's the 6 different areas on the map that you can get the double camp, march on. And you just amplify your farm so fast, and it doesn't take farm away from anybody else, right? You're just getting it for free because no one can stop you. Your team doesn't want to back to take it. So as soon as this Tinker hits level 6, he's just going to start pulling away.
Yeah, though I will say that's true for pretty much any global hero, and why you often see one in almost every draft now. In fact, this game we have Tinker, and on the other side, you got the Keeper of the Light.
Yeah.
So he can also recall people in, even though they're farming way in the back. Last game, we had the Silencer global. I know it's not quite the same, but it does mean feel a little bit better while you're pushing out bottom that you are still contributing, perhaps to the top lane when a fight breaks out. So there's a lot of global heroes every game. I was prepared to talk about it with the Medusa off lane being the wall, officially throw that idea out this game, but the global idea is still very strong.
Yeah, screw you, Zach. We don't want you to make those points about Medusa anymore.
Don't worry, it'll come in another cast. I'll save it till then.
I'm sure we're gonna have plenty of Medusa to talk about based on how this event is going so far, so I'm not too worried.
Dire structures are fortified.
Yeah, for now, relatively peaceful start besides that Medusa kill. I'm not too surprised. Spirit, I think with that pivot to the Medusa carry, is going to feel good about going late, especially into that Lifestealer matchup.
Oh, great dead shot from Omar. Otherwise, might have been able to close the gap there, get that Mystic Snake off, and secure that kill. So Maposhka, good attempt.
I think Nigma, to finish my thought, they are going to feel more pressure to play early, but you can't go too early. Lifestealer still needs an item or two before he gets going. And Tinker, you got to hit 6, and then you got to keep farming, and then you finish an item or two, and then you're ready to go.
Yeah, that's literally it right there. That's one of the 6 kind of sets of 2 camps, right? So he'll be farming the one behind the mid tier 2. You've got the 2 camps on the right side next to your off lane tier 2s. And they're just all reflected on the other side of the map as well. So it's going to be Tinker starting to pull away in the net worth. But it does give space for this Storm Spirit mid, right? I was kind of under the impression that Storm was also a better matchup into Tinker, but as BSJ and Jenkins pointed out, the matchup's actually pretty even. I will say that's not what I expected.
I mean, look at this. It's hard to it's hard to close the gap on that.
Ooh, Rue comes in, tries to contest the rune rather. Omar will just take it for himself. Nice fear back here onto Laurel, but he's still got the zip. Plenty of wand charges to play around, so neither of the mid laners will be lucky enough to walk away with the bottle refill.
Well, Tinker doesn't care too much if he doesn't get the bottle.
Oh no!
Oh no! Storm, it's it's more annoying, but it's not as painful when you have a Keeper. Keeper is actually a better bottle refill than actual runes.
Nice stomp out from Noob, but level 6 here from Laurel trying to get active. Oh, he gets stomped again!
Help
He's
from his
helping
own
out
kind.
Yeah, he's helping out his brethren, but Noob falling quite low. Should end up dying in the end. Nice kill there, and a good rotation in from the Storm Spirit.
Collapse, getting his boots delivered while being chased down should get him out of here alive. Doesn't want to give up this Wisdom Shrine, though.
I mean, there's a Elder Titan here with Stomp, right? Like, he actually can't contest it, so Collapse just barely outside the attack range. Omar now without mana. Okay, neither of the supports have mana, actually. They can't contest this. And Tinker has stayed mid, surprisingly to me. On the other side,
We're looking for the Maposhka
oh,
board.
no, what a body block from his own illusion.
That's sick.
That is
Dude,
so
Maposhka.
the Funhouse Mirror, I believe.
Yeah.
That is so sick from Maposhka. No way.
Maposhka, what a great series so far.
Yeah.
A lot of good globals last game.
Going in topside here, tries to find the opening onto GH. There's the mana restore. Get themselves a kill onto the Elder Titan further, giving space for GH, or I'm sorry, for Ghost in this lane.
Yeah, just keep an eye on Storm's mana bar in the top, guys. It's going to quickly rise up. Now, granted, Coddle's actually still quite low level, so it'll take a little longer. Once Coddle's 6, that'll shoot straight back up.
Stampede comes out. They're going to just go ahead and dive this Mars.
Offlaner's getting punished this game.
Yeah, it's a rough lane for both of them.
Centaur's still doing pretty well, though. Just by nature, he has an easier time farming early. No matter what build you go, you have some kind of farming tool. Mars, a little bit more reliant on having a good early game. Ooh.
Talking about a good early game, Laurel continuing his rampage, gets himself a killing spree now. All right, Storm Coddle already looking pretty good, and Coddle has a lot more that he can bring to the table as this continues. But he's getting a lot of net worth, clearing up some stacks as well.
And because of that double Wisdom Shrine, Rue's already level 5, I think halfway to level 6, especially as he does some stacks with the Laurel here.
Yeah.
So we already talked about the fast tempo of Keeper and Storm, and now that's even probably a minute or two faster.
Yeah, I mean, once Recall's online, this is when you really have to fear the rotations around the map, because Storm can be anywhere, just get recalled in immediately. You Chakra Magic him, and he's just 700 mana more than he was before, and he's ready to fight. So it is very scary.
Sumail is sneaking his way up there, though. They found some kills, but it's not been on the Tinker. He's got a Kaya for now. Omar.
Oh, man, he's level 3.
Their Galvanized stack for Storm. It's really ramping up, man.
Yeah, he's up to 7 already. And Centaur is kind of one of these heroes that it's a difficult kill. Laurel will have to commit a lot of mana to actually kill him. But they are going to bring the numbers here on Nigma. They actually feel like playing around the Centaur, this Tinker who can join at any time. It feels like they need to do this. You said they need to start playing early. We're almost to the armlet on this Lifestealer, but getting a tower going to help out this Centaur, continue to play aggressive.
Yeah, it sets up the Tormentor later as well.
Yeah.
And I think anytime you have a Tinker on your team, you want to protect your tier 1s and take enemies tier 1s. I know that sounds obvious, like every game you do that. But when you have this global hero who can defend every lane, your teammates need to play somewhere else.
Yeah.
So when you take that tier 1, now they feel more comfortable playing on the enemy's jungle, and so then you know, like, oh, I'll hold top and mid guys and farm our own jungle. It's okay. But if you don't have any towers, it feels like there's very little space for your team to get farm while you're farming everything else.
And that's kind of like where you are playing for your tier 2 ult, right? On for Tinker, right? If your tier 1 towers are all dead, you have a lot less areas on the map you can actually teleport to play around. And that means not only defending towers, but also farming, right? So losing towers early as a Tinker can be really, really damaging to this hero's progression. But as we can see right now, he's actually doing really well.
They're just a moment too late. They were hoping to find the
it
Tinker
was
here.
close. He's already moved out of the triangle into the other dual camp, and he's just going to go right back to base. With the Kaya, this amplifies his farm so much. Noob, it's a hard kill, but they're going to go for it anyway. Into the Stampede. He's gone. Laurel does have the shield rune to protect him for now, but running out of mana. They do recall in collapse. They will have the arena if they need, but the response, they don't want to give up a kill. And they'll just back away. Tinker's going to go back mid. I mean, all of these types of rotations from Spirit, if they don't work, it is better for Nigma, right?
Yeah, we can say Keeper is a global hero, and he is, but it's a little bit cooldown reliant based on having your ultimate, and then even Recall has a cooldown. There's the mana we've been talking about. Tinker, especially mid-Tinker, almost, you know, level 10, almost level 11. He's going to get to the level 2 ult pretty quickly, so he's not going to have nearly as much of a problem showing up around the map at a faster rate than what this Keeper can. So when you have these kind of mass rotations, I do think that's better for Nigma, at least for now.
Yeah, we'll really see if they can get active with the Lifestealer as well as, I think his armlet is done here. Yeah, just finished, well, for now. Trying to put some pressure onto Collapse, but he'll just drag the wave. Mars is not like an easy kill by any means, but Ghost is feeling no pressure at this top side of the map.
Yeah, both carries are pretty survivable to leave alone. They have found some Keeper kills, but it's only 4-2, so I think Nigma kind of getting what they need right now. Though actually, a lot more camp stack for Spirit than I realized.
That's like shocking, because I feel like I've seen Tinker stacking and clearing Ancients like crazy on his side of the map, but maybe maybe they're just like dying as they're respawning. I'm not really sure. Overall, though, top side, there's the arena, the spear, the damage onto Ghost. He just gets the infest off. They fort the creep as well as the Illuminate doesn't connect in time. He's healing up just enough, so they will be able to back away. Good movement there. As we jump back into the mid lane, and, well, doesn't really... Again, the second time they've tried making a rotation and a gank, and it doesn't quite pan out.
Yeah, good attempt, pretty close. Downside of Coddle, you speed up your teammates, but you yourself don't contribute that much damage. Illuminate takes time. You know, it's a decent chunk if you do get the full charge, but tough to connect on the Rages and the Infest.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're going to see a fight for these 14-minute Wisdoms, because we saw, you know, Nigma lost them earlier. They could absolutely use some extra experience on these supports. And then in the next objective is just going to be that Tormentor. As Spirit, they'd love to continue trying to push mid, but GH is here, and of course Tinker, yep, there he is. I was like, he'll probably TP any moment. Yeah, and start the march.
Sumail right now had that Kaya, finished an Atos, and he's about 500 gold from a blink, which for a Tinker is like 30 seconds. So I'm wondering if that's the timing they want, or if they feel that they can even continue waiting until they have the Radiance on Lifestealer. Sumail's going to continue farming really quickly. We'll see what he wants after that blink, but I'm sure you could finish another item, if not two, by the time the Radiance is ready, and if that's when they want to go.
So we're seeing Storm looking for like a full commitment build here with the Orchid, right? Like he wants to be able to get on top of Tinker or even either of these supports. Like if you can prevent Pierce the Veil coming out from the Muerta, you will kill her. If you can get on top of the Elder Titan before the Stomp comes out, you will kill him as well. So Laurel, now with the Orchid completed, also an amplified damage. And initially, I thought he might not have it to get a Lifestealer, but with the amplified damage, absolutely. So this is a huge kill if they can actually get on top of Ghost. He's going to get that barrier. Laurel still smoked up, but no, this Tinker is here now, so maybe looking for Sumail instead. Smoke will pop. They're just going to go straight behind the tower. Orchid is out on top of them, but they're actually just too afraid.
It's really dangerous to dive a Tinker and a Lifestealer. They were hoping to find the Tinker at that ledge, and if you do, I think you can kill him.
Yeah.
But as soon as you realize you have to go even deeper and you've already revealed yourself, I think it's the right call. Sometimes you just don't find the right angle and you got to back out.
Yeah, now they're going to look for Collapse. Blink out here from Noob. Now that will be the reveal. What a fear from Omar. It's going to allow Ghost to still go inside of the arena. But yeah, he'll TP away knowing there's no stuns. And now mid lane Sumail under a little bit of trouble here, but tanky enough. Laurel will back away. Actually infested Omar as he TP'd in, so Laurel needs a little bit of help here from the Keeper of the Light. There's going to be the Stampede, the blink forward. He's get the mana, but is it in time? The Atos is out, the Stomp is there, the Laser will take him down. What a chase from Nigma. Now, they do bring in the Medusa, drop that Stone Gaze to try and make a little bit of space, but they've got the target they wanted, and yeah, Sumail will head right back to the base. continue his farm across the map.
What a find from Noob at the last second. The stomp connects as Storm gets mana back from Chakra Magic. If that half a second faster and he's out. Although maybe a little too aggressive there. Actually just dies now on this mid push, which I thought they would have for sure with the Storm being dead.
They're so used to like off-lane Medusa. They're like, oh yeah, this hero can click me. It doesn't matter. And they're like, wait a minute. Yeah, this hero does a lot of damage. I mean, Radon's enormous. Like, he's incredibly well farmed. They have
so many stacks.
Yeah, they haven't really been able to get on top of him this game. A lot of the focus has been on Laurel and Collapse. So he's having a great time. Whether or not it will scale and become the late game kind of carry that we're kind of expecting Spirit to play for, we'll find out.
I think they were really hoping Tinker would TP in here and they could recall
Laurel
Medusa.
Again wants to find the opening. There it is, the Orchid right on to the Muerta. Miposhka on the backside gives some vision of Sumail, and they will just back away. So another kill here for Laurel. I mean, this Storm, I feel like it's only going to get worse for Nigma with this hero.
They've been pretty successful really pushing it to try to find fights. Not all of them have been successful, but Laurel is 4-1-1, which is pretty solid. But you see the cost a little bit because they've been giving so much farm to Medusa. Even though he has this extra efficiency from Keeper, he's actually not that farmed as other games we've seen this combo. But I think it's currently enough.
Yeah. God rebuke the curry. Yeah, I know you don't see it collapse, so just throw it onto the high ground there. You'll find something.
Stupid.
Some vision of Miposhka. Ward's dropped.
Ghost is about to finish his Sacred Relic, and then it'll just be another 1,300 gold to finish the Talisman of Evasion. And if that's not the timing to go, then I really don't know, man. I don't know.
They've got to find something, right? Like, they're pushing this bottom tier 1. This is a good objective for Spirit if they get this, because then contesting the Tormentor, if they want to go for it pre-20, is a big deal. Atos is out. Stomp to follow it up here from Noob. There's going to be the silence or the sleep as well into the Earth Splitter. But Laurel's still healthy. He's alive. He's going to survive for now. There's the Stampede. Collapse has the arena, but silenced up for the moment, and in comes Ghost. He's found the Coddle on the backside. Sumail fallen a little bit low here, out of mana almost, and now Noob trapped inside the arena and finished off. Radon making his rotation in, drops the Stone Gaze, looking for an opening. Sumail will get out, but Omar waiting for the Pierce the Veil to end. Collapse has the Yules. The Stomp's not going to save him. They get the Spear. They get the connection. 2 dead. A double kill for the Mars. As Spirit, well, starting to pull away here. A 4,000 gold lead, and they get the objective of that bottom lane tower.
Maybe not even done yet. Miposhka's in here.
They have Orchid? They do. They're gonna see him. He goes for the armlet toggle, the spear as well. It's a lot of damage. It's gonna be close. Gotta be close, but no. The rage is not enough. Laurel to get another.
That ward really helping him out, seeing what's going on. An extra kill on top of that. I think they're
gonna keep going. Like, why stop? This is the benefit of the Coddle Storm. Like, he can just keep playing aggressive. Just burns so much health out of Noob there. And he's back to full mana.
They even dug up a Sal for him, I think. All right, let's keep going, boys.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't need to back, right? Like, you have so much damage. Between Miposhka's, like, Tame the Beast and the Dagger, right? 4-1-4 build, it's a lot of damage.
Yeah, and actually on the flip side of that, Nigma's damage was kind of lacking that fight.
Yeah.
I think it dragged on a little bit like what they wanted, but the silence on Tinker means he wasn't spamming as many spells. And this Radiance, it's not done. I feel like that fight just happened a little bit too soon for Nigma.
Wow, MKB. Just rush MKB.
Yeah, now he's even got it before the Radiance is out, so it's still good to have it. You'll have the burn, but
mid lane
getting the evasion.
Sumail gonna try and open here onto Collapse, but again, he just doesn't really care. The Tinker's Ags I don't even think is done yet, so it's gonna be a while before his damage starts to add up. Okay, he's actually closing in. He's about 500 gold away. Okay, a lot faster now as the wave dies. But Tormentor moves to the top side of the map, and with this, first one will go to Spirit. Who gets the shard? It is going to be Rue. That is the best thing you could have asked for. Increased healing, a second charge of the recall, and now finding kills on Nigma Galaxy is going to be that much more difficult.
It's actually one of the latest Tormentors we've had in a while.
Yeah, actually, true. 5 minutes behind.
Now they're going to try to get to the Wisdom Shrine in time. I think they're a little slow unless Storm wants to... Okay, He started
you
zipping.
can.
I thought he was going to zip the whole way with the Coddle.
He will indeed. It's still not in time, but he does get the silence, the jump here onto the Elder Titan. A great silence and dead shot will make the space for the ET here, but Omar getting caught on the backside, daggered up, trying to run an infest even just to keep this guy alive. I mean, the response that Nigma has to have to keep these heroes alive. That's a double courier kill?
Massacre.
All right, I mentioned it earlier. He was waiting for a better time to God rebuke the couriers.
If you do it too soon, they're on guard.
Yeah.
So you have to let them think it's safe over there.
Yeah, they'll never do it again, right? Now, all right. 8,000 gold advantage suddenly here for Spirit. And yeah, Radon's even got a greater healing Lotus in his bag as well. So if you do manage to get on top of him, he's got 26, the greater Lotus. This hero's got so much more health to work with when you factor in the Coddle on top of everything. I don't know how you deal with the Medusa right now. The Radiance is done. This is go time for Nigma. They're going to try and make a play here. We'll see what they can find.
Unfortunately, man, they're 9K behind at this point.
Yeah.
And that's where it was concerning. And I wasn't sure what the timing was. Clearly, they didn't plan on losing the last couple fights.
Oh
but
God, Rue is in such a good spot to break the smoke. They guess incorrectly, and he just walks, or I guess rather rides away on his horse.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Goes.
get a mid tower out of it.
All right, that's a silver lining, I guess you could say.
Radon is 4 levels higher.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Dude, he has been farming the whole game, right? Like
Still 2-on-2 showing up every now and then.
303 last hits at 22 minutes, 23 minutes. That is absurd. This guy is looking to break some records or something. I don't know.
Space made by Keeper and Storm.
Yeah,
You know, I feel
absolutely.
like they were all over this.
Nigma put all of their pressure early game into the mid lane and the off lane, right? They ignored the Medusa. They're like, yeah, we got ET for it later, but now you're starting to wonder, like, is that ever going to be good enough?
We'll
Dire's
see.
top tower is
All right,
under
Eggs.
attack.
Do sleep her for 5 seconds at a time.
Just ignore her?
Toro's the kind of guy who might just manta dodge it, though.
True.
Then you got a bit of a problem. And at this rate, I feel like you can just get a dispel on one of the supports.
Yeah. I mean, you also just have Ringmaster, right? That's one of the ideas of the Ringmaster pick is you just put her in Escape Act and...
Well, it's not really... That's true to save her, but it's more about she's removed, and I think you're ignoring her in that time trying to kill. So you actually need to... You want to wake her up so she can do damage, and for that, you need an actual dispel, which...
Just by a Wind Waker.
Level 25 on Coddle, you know? I mean, just right around the corner, you can use that strong dispel.
Arcane Rune picked up, immediately caught from the Yules. The Spear back from Collapse. Now, not the best target to start on, but he will get caught from the Wheel of Wonder. They're looking for this Storm Spirit, but he gets saved. Great Force Staff out. There's your Stampede, but now it's a full retreat. Looking for more. Atos once again here from Sumail. The Stomp's going to connect. Medusa asleep for a while. In comes the Earth Splitter. Laurel nearly dies, but he survives, and there's the Arena. He's actually caught the life, so it doesn't know what a Spear from Collapse catches too. Green light to go back in. Noobs caught from the Vortex, and Radon doing so much work here on the Medusa. Goes forced to try and run away here under this rage. It's a buyback from Omar, but the damage is done.
There's the save. Keeping her alive.
I mean, Rue's going to start pumping mana into this hero. Look at this guy. He's fine.
Healthy.
And Laurel's sitting at full mana as well. They can just keep fighting. If they get eyes on Omar here, that could be a dieback.
I mean, that started.
Oh, Sumail, top side, looking for Collapse. Does he get the jump? Oh, what a shot from Omar. Downtown gets the kill. That's a huge amount of gold for this guy. Atos onto the Storm Spirit. A lot of damage coming out here. The Stomp as well. Rue with the Force Staff trying to save him the Blinding Light. Is it going to be enough? The second Fear. All right, Omar. Those are massive finds for him.
The damage comes in from the rest of the heroes, especially when the natural order is there to amp the damage from the Tinker.
That was so nice.
Nice replay here. We got the long-range dead shot. Even Collapse recognized it. He's like, all right, Tip. Pretty good shot there. Ooh, we get a rip.
He's like, come on, man. You can't do that.
Where did that even come from? They have a Maposhka ward somewhere.
Yeah, the Poshka Award. Yeah, he's looking for him. I mean, okay, the signs of life here from Nigma Galaxy. The last few engagements have not been looking good. The trajectory in the net worth definitely concerning, but you're right. Yeah, they've got damage. They're showing that they can still bring it in these fights.
Yeah, but my concern is it's the other heroes that are dying. You know,
true.
It's not the Medusa. That fight, the original fight started okay because Radon was not there, and it's like, oh, the recall is a little on cooldown. Okay, now I can bring you in. As soon as Medusa's there, I'm just clicking down, you know, and you can't deal with me. And it's true, and they have to avoid, and then you can find kills everywhere. But as long as the Medusa's in the fight, it's really tough for Nigma right now, and I don't really know what that turning point is. The panel mentioned this is not a good matchup for Lifestealer.
Yeah.
So are we getting a defusal? Like, is it the Muerta that just needs to scale up? I don't know.
It just doesn't happen anymore. We don't even see that ever.
I'm not sure. You have to kill everyone else, and Medusa has to not kill you in that time.
Yeah, that seems pretty straightforward. Simple enough.
Easy.
Noob under awards, jumps in from Laurel. Does have the Crimson Guard, might buy him some space here, but the TP's in for the rest of the team. Omar looking for the opening, but another 4-staff save from Rue. I mean, look at the fact that Storm has been able to play this aggressive, and his BKB is just now getting delivered. Like, he's been able to do so much in these fights and hasn't had to rely on that. It's just been Rue.
I mean, the catch from Nigma is not that easy, right? Easily dodge the stomps. Dead shots, you might be able to react in time. It's the silence that's the hardest.
Yeah.
But if you know where she is, you can kind of plan accordingly. Pretty much everything else is dodgeable if you're fast, and Laurel is, of course, going to react in time.
I mean, they know this ward is on the high ground there. It's what caught Storm before, so they're trying to play around that. They are infested here into the Centaur. Looking for anybody to contest these 28-minute runes. We'll see who's going to get lucky this time around. Tinker is still doing really well. Sumail has a lot of items. We're seeing him actually do a lot of damage in these fights. He's getting towards that Aether Lens. Who cares 28-minute rune when you have Roche on, I suppose?
Care a little. That was a regen rune. That
was actually
pretty good for Storm.
You know what also is just similar to regen, though?
Tell me.
I think it's Aegis.
Oh, dang, that's good.
They'll give it to Radon, and with this...
Dude, he really wants that regen rune.
He's like, what? They gave him the Greater Lotus. They're like, all right, I've got an Aegis, I'll, you know...
A trade out. Okay.
Yeah, that's
okay.
art of the deal right there, dude. Just very nice exchange.
So Radon actually is the one who got a defusal going into the Disperser. That's actually pretty good. It has the Dispel, so you can remove the defense matrix. In case you get silenced, you even have another Dispel if you need it. Now you can Manta dodge the sleeps. If your teammates get slept, I guess you can save them. You still need someone to Dispel the Medusa. Well, it would be nice. I guess you don't actually need it based on how the game's going.
I'm telling you, man, Coddle's just going to get a Wind Waker. That would be hype. I don't think he's going to, but it would be hype is all I'm saying.
I think the game will last longer for him, too.
That's true. I mean, well, it is Spirit, dude. They love long games. We'll see.
That's true.
I don't know if you need to,
they want the game long enough for them to reach the point where they can win.
True.
And
true,
I think they recognize we are very close to that point right now. They don't stall for no reason. They stall to win.
Yeah. They're baiting a Medusa. There's a full smoked wraparound here on the top side of the map. Who are they going to find? Noob goes and gets a nice stun onto the Coddle. Silence onto the Storm as well. Ato is going to connect. But you're starting to get baited in pretty deep here. Nigma Galaxy not able to follow this up. And Radon will, well, decide to finish the tower off. Eventually, yeah. He'll get it.
Even they will respect the Tinker March spam.
You just have to dodge the Stomp, right? Like, that's the one thing that you don't want to happen. So, tier 2 down. They might move their way towards mid, make their sweep across the map. But...
here the infest onto the Centaur.
Disperser on Medusa now. Huge pickup. Not only gets her out of danger, but potentially Storm Spirit as well. Like, there's a bunch of different there's a bunch of different use cases for that item in this game.
Infest gank. Doesn't really find much this time.
There we go. Just gets out of stomp range immediately. So that combo, or that kind of like counter that they're relying on, is just not reliable anymore. So
yeah, it's pretty cool.
Radon will just continue to siege the buildings. Oh no! Oh, he did get caught. All right, nice.
thought he was a little faster.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter. They don't really want to commit on Radon. You want to sleep him and deal with other heroes, but sure is tough to ignore as he hits your tier 3s.
Yeah, you just got a slow siege, right? You've got the Aegis into your Medusa for 2 more minutes. She's so tanky.
I mean, funny enough, we were talking about this as off-lane Medusa. You let her sit there with the Meteor, but actually the exact same gameplay is true for carry Medusa. She's the tankiest hero. Just sit her in the front, Aegis, Stone Gaze. You don't really want to gank her, especially with Keeper behind. She's going to fill up all the mana anyways.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not sure if you guys think her mana bar isn't full. That's just an illusion. Her mana bar at any moment could be completely full. So tier 3's down, Disperser once again to try and just continue to dodge out the spell volley here from Nigma Galaxy. And, well, Radon has claimed himself the ranged barracks. And it's only a matter of time. They're actually scanning, trying to find the lane cut. Centaur tries to make the attempt for it. Now Laurel with the recall, and I was like, yeah, he'll get the mana topped off here in just a second.
I think you're canceling that.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way he survives this. Nicely done from the side of Spirit to kind of punish this, right? Because Nigma have to try and stall out this high ground siege with this Aegis. It buys them maybe 20, 30 seconds, but you've still got a minute left on this timer.
Yeah, Radon looks like he's headed top. Well, actually, are they just going straight back mid? Oh, I didn't realize they didn't finish this. All right, they're back.
Does he have Stomp for the wave, maybe? I was like, maybe you can just Stomp the wave, but he just Dispersers the creep as well.
Funny.
He's like, yeah, we're not letting this get slowed down at all.
I don't have the patience for backdoor. Get in here, creep.
That's funny. He's just trying to keep the impalement arts on Sumail so he can't just continue to dance around on the backside. Oh, they just go in on Laurel. The Yule's the setup. Do they have the damage spot? If he gets the blink, nice Arena, but not nice enough. Sumail, thanks to that translocator, able to survive. Gets pushed back in. What? They get the double spear. Sumail taunted by the Wheel of Wonder. They're going to lose Laurel, but can Sumail get out of this? Radon still slept up. He's trying to finish the job, but translocates again. Sumail's actually out, and Radon's in really deep. 3 seconds on the Aegis. They'll claim the first life. Nigma Galaxy looking for a huge kill here onto this Medusa. The Stone Gaze will buy him a lot of time here. Noob trying to block him up. The Fear sends him back in. Stone Gaze will not connect onto him. And there's the Stampede. It's time for Nigma to chase this fight. The Yule's a setup here. Medusa, she's strong. But can she fight 1v5? It's close, but it's not going to be it is enough. She's just living. There's too much healing coming in from the side of Spirit. They're forced to back away. Radon, a one-man army.
Look at the mana bar. Rue just keeps going back in, man.
It's mana and Illuminate. Like, even if you get through all of the mana, the healing is absurd.
All right, watch. Let's see him gain mana.
That's an infest. They're coming in. Ghost. He's trying to find somebody. He's like, all right, I'm done with this Medusa, but she just does too much damage. He's on the run. The Scotty slowing up. Collapse. Blink canceled by the March.
If you can't get to the supports,
Oh,
specifically the Keeper, you will not kill this Medusa. Like, they even dove a little bit too hard there. It cost them the Storm Spirit and the Mars, but I feel like he bought back. He's like, oh, I gotta go help. Oh, didn't really need to do that. Never mind. They just can't get to the supports if they are behind the Medusa.
That translocator out of Arena was so hyped from Sumail. I mean, those are like little things that if he dies there, I mean, I don't know if he has buyback, but if he dies there, that might just be the end of the game.
I think so.
Yeah, that is a super sick play from him. Like, you got to give props to, to the king when he deserves it.
They did have enough damage to kill the Medusa once, but she had the Aegis, which is part of why he's playing so aggressively. If he doesn't have that Aegis, he's going to sit further back. All right. It's actually less net worth than I thought.
It's a lot of buildings, though, right?
The buildings is the big thing.
They got what they wanted. There's a Daedalus nearly done on the Medusa. She is too difficult to handle at this point, I think.
I guess some of that was the buyback on the Mars, maybe, why they didn't gain as much money.
Yeah. I thought they might just go like Butterfly on the Medusa at this point.
Because she's already not dying.
Yeah, but I guess that's the thing, right? She's like, yeah, I just trust my team. I'm going to go more damage instead, which it's working really well. She's got an Ags queued up, so having the like modifier for split shot, it's not something we see a ton, but when you go this like Scotty, Monkey King Bar Daedalus build, right, this is just like the classic Medusa of old, playing around like what used to be the 25 talent. Now we are seeing a smoke down here for the Tormentor. We'll see if they actually connect on this noob, trying to cut them off. This would be a huge stomp. He gets both supports. Only dodge with the Force Staff. Rue's actually alive for now. The Arena of the Spear. It pins down the Lifestealer. Ghost trying to do what he can, but the Laurel Storm Spirit surviving on just a sliver of HP, and Radon once again doing too much damage. Sumail can't get out of this one. They've done it. They've taken down Laurel. Buyback, though, coming in here from Miposhka. Is it going to be enough? Medusa starting to run out of mana. Coddle's got to get in here into the fight, but they can't do it. Nigma finally get their target. What a turnaround.
That was such a close fight. Both supports reacting instantly, and then the Arena actually blocks them out, so they live for a little bit, but the positioning is just so awkward from there that Nigma was able to find the kills. There is a defusal onto Lifesteal now.
Yeah.
You're going to have a replay here. Both supports so low from the Tormentor.
That's crazy.
Saved for just a moment, but yeah, you're able to just focus down the various cores. It's like such a scattered fight. You can't get to Sumail. GH in the back the whole time, applying the damage amp. Eventually you do get Sumail. Translocator brings him in.
What was I?
But you're pretty happy with that on Nigma, I would say. And it has got to feel encouraging to know you can kill the Medusa, with the big asterisk being that Rue was not behind her for the whole fight. He was taken out pretty early, and that's going to be key going forward. You must take out this Keeper of the Light.
Yeah, I mean, anytime, it's one of those things, like Tormentor can be a bait for sure, right? It brings your team pretty darn low. It gave Nigma an opportunity to win a fight, and now they will be getting themselves a big Roche here as well. So see if they can, hold on, Coddle looking for the recall, has Will-O-Wisp, pushes them back, but yeah, they're not going to be able to contest this. Aegis into the hands of Sumail. Oh, what a blink. He gets the TP out just in time. Ghost trying to find Collapse, but they will take their prize of the Aegis and back away.
Are things turning? Is this the turn?
Dude, it's hard to say, right? Because in a 5v5 where your supports aren't super low at the beginning, I think Spirit still has the easier game in terms of like how they're going to take these engagements. But clearly we're seeing that Nigma is not giving up. Like they still feel confident enough to find the fights that they want. And Omar is also kind of doing a ton of damage now that he has the Aghanim Scepter completed. Dude, he is so...
Did they see Laurel?
No, they don't. He's just outside of the Watcher.
Keeper did buy... Ooh. If you find him, it's so big for you.
Did they see
down
Medusa?
Here. They have wards down here earlier.
They 100% know he's here.
Find Radon on his own. He's going to walk into a ward in a moment here, but he's pretty far. And this is pretty deep.
I mean, it's a smoke rotation. I feel like you've got to commit. If you can get this kill...
They're going.
Yeah, the infested noob.
Ah, the Radiance might have revealed it. It damaged the creeps.
They scanned
Radon's
it.
Running.
They scanned it. No way. Radon gets the scan, pops the disperser, and is out. Dodging death by just a split second.
I think Radiance is on. He needed to turn it off before he went into the infest, and I'm pretty sure Spirit saw it in the
creep wave.
Especially because no one was showing, right? So you're being extra aware, and suddenly you know it's like, why are my creeps dying?
And then they scan. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's exactly what happened.
Really easy to miss that, but heads up, I don't know who caught that on Spirit, but someone was watching that creep wave.
Yeah, those are the types of ganks that, you know, can make or break a game. Like, that would have been huge for Nigma. But for now, Spirit just holding steady, kind of waiting out this Aegis timer. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left on this. And here's the thing, right? They're just pushing the net worth advantage further on Spirit because they can out-farm you now on the map.
Yeah, I'm wondering what else can they do to get to Rue? Because that one was kind of fortunate. That was the Tormentor, and they wrapped around. But if we recreate the fight where you're sieging the high ground, much harder.
Miposhka might be in some trouble. Rue actually comes in, gets the Will-O-Wisp down, gonna try and make some space. The fear is enough to push him back, but Sumail's gonna continue the chase. What a dead shot once again, finding both of the supports. The Earth Splitter just chops them down. Rue actually dying to a neutral creep, funny enough, but they also get a gem if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was the gem. Okay,
a minute without supports?
Yeah, I didn't expect. I thought that was just gonna be Miposhka dying. Like, thanks, dude. Thanks for taking that gank. You know, maybe they thought they would rotate more heroes in. You recall yourself in, recall other heroes to you, but wasn't fast enough. So that's gonna be the bottom tower. And can you actually go for more? These are the catapults. You even have the banner, right? Since they got the second Roche.
Yeah, banner absolutely should be dropped here to protect this double catapult. I mean, Medusa can kill the banner, but you just place it further back. Yeah, exactly. So they put it down here. It will protect the catapults. Medusa has to commit pretty far to bring this down. So Ghost will have a free reign here on this tier 3 tower. And the dead shot spam from Omar is going to begin. Nigma Galaxy 16,000 gold behind and breaking the high ground of Spirit. Can they do it? We'll see. Ghost getting aggressive, but in comes Storm Spirit, finding an opening on the backside. He pops the BKB, gets on top of the Elder Titan, but the Infest is going to save him. And that is BKB spent on the Storm, but it will put an end to the siege. They get the banner down, and Nigma Galaxy will back away with only 30 seconds left on the Aegis.
Yeah, good play from Laurel. Buys the time for the supports to be up, and it was an amazing find to get both the supports. But you still don't want to take a direct 5-on-5.
I don't think so, especially on the high ground.
Absolutely not. You want to keep them scattered, find those pickoffs, and then you can go. So it's really up to Spirit to be very careful. This is where losing the gem hurts a lot, because if you have the wards, then you know where to go. And I'm sure they'll buy another at some point if they haven't already. Oh, yeah, there we go. They've already got another one. You need to know what you're playing into so that you can orchestrate the right fight, which is really Coddle stays alive the whole time. You need to keep using Chakra Magic. You need to be Illuminate spamming, and that's how you can win.
Medusa has a BKB. So she went BKB before the Aghanim Scepter. I actually really like this. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? You got some buildings actually this time. So I think from Nigma Galaxy perspective, it's not a total loss. It's just the net worth that is the issue.
It's so funny, man. You get the Aegis like, what's the power play? We lost money.
We lost some gold. Collapse, looking for an opening. Zip in immediately from Collapse. He gets the Elder Titan. The BKB is out, but a really good Abyssal Blade. The Arena will trap 3. Collapse needs to run, needs to make space from Ghost. He pops himself that refresher. He has a second BKB to play around. He blinks to safety as the Stampede will also... I mean, just so many spells. Nobody dies.
The heroes are getting pretty tanky.
Yeah.
Centaur has the Crimson Guard. And, I mean, split shot, right? Just by nature of the way it works, you do a lot of damage to a lot of heroes, but Crimson Guard is pretty good versus that. So the fights need to go for a while. And then it does feel like Spirit has a bit more damage, but also it really comes down to what is Sumail doing in that time. The Aghanims does build up in these longer fights.
I mean, that was Refresher, double BKB out of your Mars. So I think overall, if you are looking at it from that perspective, not bad for Nigma. The fact that you lose nothing on a pretty big team fight combination there. That being said, Omar in the mid lane, so is Ghost. The Hex comes out from Laurel. They're trying to get the kill, but the Abyssal Blade comes out. They just have so much damage. They amplify here on Radon. He's too dang strong. You gotta get out of here if you're Nigma.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, back away for now. The March protecting the retreat, but your high ground, it's available if they want to go for it. There's a creep wave that's pushed in far enough top.
All of Spirit's headed up there.
Yeah.
Sumail's going to come in, start spamming out March of the Machines, but Medusa can pretty much ignore this.
E-Blade, Stomp, Hex Yules, a little bit of counter synergy, but they get the fear into the Wheel of Wonder. They're on top of the Centaur, but the Abyssal Blade locking him down. There is a nice save onto Laurel. The Arena comes out once again from this Mars, but is it enough? Omar's dead. Noob, full retreat. They get the stun. They get the silence onto the Lifestealer. He's dead. So is Sumail. He's going to have to buy back into this game. The BKB Medusa is just way too strong. Tier 3 under siege. But you've got bigger problems. It's the lane of barracks and the heals constantly from Rue. It's a full reset here from Spirit.
You're not going to be scared at all. Lifestealer with that diffusal he's the way you can kill the Medusa or the Storm.
Or the Storm.
Disperser
Yeah.
plus Abyssal is what threatens you. He's dead. Like, you can be delayed by all this spamming of spells, but you're not going to die, especially with the Keeper behind. Maposhka's there with his
Oh,
escape
Manta
act.
dodge.
He didn't even need
earlier. You said earlier, like, he'll just Manta dodge, right? Like, who cares? I mean, you're 100% right. Radon just going to start whittling away at this tower. Crimson Guard will slow it up. I mean, he's taking 0 damage.
It's so good against it, but
Classic.
you're 30k behind. It's unfortunately not going to be enough.
Good blink dodge there, but Laurel, he's looking for another opening. The Hex, he gets on top of the Elder Titan. Noob jumps in, tries to make some space, but the Wheel of Wonder is out. Nice. Ogre Steel away, but the Spirit back from Collapse. You will not escape Spirit. The Mega Creeps, certain at this point, as they're going to buy back. It's a 2v5. Lifestealer 17 seconds till he's alive. Radon will continue the siege. Blink to safety here from Noob, but they've got the Tinker. Will-O-Wisp, there's the Stampede. Okay, forced back, but now no spells left here from the side of Nigma Galaxy. And how do you deal with the Medusa? Can you deal with the Medusa? She's got a full Ag Synth coming out now.
With this type of lead, I think it's pretty tough. They're going to play on, and you do have to respect it to some degree, especially as ET's coming up. You can't just mindlessly go in, but just a slow and steady siege. I don't see a way for it to happen.
I mean, I don't think you can burst her in the sleep anymore, and now you have, like, double Arena to follow it up. She has a BKB immediately. Like, there's a lot of tools from Spirit being this far ahead. And they're not going to stop. They're staying aggressive. I think they're under a ward, though, so Nigma not really going to give them the opportunity there. I mean, the fact that ward exists is shocking.
Well, some of it is that they got the kills, right? So they were just going base to base. They didn't even look for D-ward. They came from the top lane, so now they're leaving through that area.
I mean, they're going to play around their vision. They're going to hope for a pick-off here and see if they get lucky, but...
Yeah, the one way I can envision Nigma winning is a series of pickoffs. We've all experienced it in our games where it's like, oh, one guy dies, and you just have to snowball that. But you see Spirit here, that's 4 heroes. They're clumped together. They don't plan on dying one at a time.
Collapse has a Wind Waker, by the way.
Okay, there you go.
There it is. So Radon with Aegis, Cheese into the Storm, Refresher onto the Storm as well.
That's a lot of tools to work with. A
Yeah.
38k lead.
I mean, Storm just finished Ags, right? So we have the Vortex AoE coming through.
Lotus is now done on Rue as well, so if you're fast, you could reflect the Abyssal. Either use it to wake... He's going between the two cores.
Yeah,
They're both calling, get over here, Rue. It's like, okay, yeah, here I am.
I'm sorry, Master. I'll be right there.
Radon gets hit by a laser. Where's my Chakra Magic?
They jump in the Hex. They've got the Centaur to open up the fight. Ghost actually just popping the Rage, has to run right through them. The Stomp dodged once again by the Manta style. Laurel trying to get on top of this Muerta. They've got it. The damage is there. She's dead. No buyback, and he's not done. Pops the Refresher. He's got a second BKB to play around. Laurel does need a little bit of help here. He's got the cheese in the back pocket. He'll get tossed. He's ready to go back in. Fighting shape Noob with BKB. Will stun up 2 on the backside, but he's all alone. Gets away from the arena, but not away from the Storm. Rue comes over, gives him another fresh set of mana. 2 dead on Nigma. And you've still got a Refresher at the ready for this Collapse Mars.
Dire's middle
You're
tower
just waiting for Radon. She's slow. She's a slow hero. She's got to get here.
She's on her way. All right, tier 4 is under siege. Smell blinks in. A little bit of damage. Pops his BKB. Goes trying to get a lot here onto this Storm Spirit, but he's just zipping through. Doesn't seem to care. He's out. That Abyssal Blade initiation, if you don't get the Storm, there's not much you can do to follow it up. There's the Spirit back. They've managed to get on top of Sumail, but the buildings, the Ancient, it's exposed. It's under siege. They're just ignoring him as Radon gets to work and tries to finish off this series. Goes Spirit up, pulled back and forth, rooted up as well. That is it, baby. Nigma Galaxy will not be able to survive this one. It's a 2-0 for Spirit.
Another Medusa win, but this time
Shocking.
the actual flex comes in. These first pick Medusas, you think they're going to be off lane. It's what everyone's doing. You try to address it, but at some point you're like, wait, it's just carry Medusa pretty good here, and we get the coddle Storm combo. I think I said that twice. It's so good. It's so good. We saw how much space they were able to make. So props to Spirit. I feel like a great draft from them. It was really cohesive the way it worked.